journey from karma yoga to emotional freedom. Karma yoga, we have been talking about, to emotional freedom. Emotional dependence causes anxiety, duality, conflict, problems. It also causes grief. It also causes suffering. So the karma yoga purifies the mind, and still one problem remains about the emotional dependence. Very important to understand. So our journey, the Eastern wisdom, the tradition says, what the tradition says? That simply studying the books by yourself does not help. No, but my IQ is very high, I can understand. That's a logic we can give. So why it is listening and learning from a teacher is declared as the most important thing. Why? So our master gives a reply that when you are studying a book on your own, your intellect has already a conditioning, a cultural conditioning, a social conditioning because of our upbringing. So that comes in between and that prevents understanding the what exactly is the real self because we start forming our own opinion. So the intellect is basically a conformist. It wants to confirm that within that limitation of what I have learned, what is my cultural and social understanding based on that. That is why our master says no, listening and learning from a teacher is very important. And then we move to the karma yoga. So the karma yoga purifies the mind. Understand that clearly and think of it. Karma yoga purifies the mind. Then we need a deeper contemplation and reflection followed by the practice. Followed by the practice. Take a simple example, individual mind to cosmic mind. My individual mind is limited, heavily conditioned culturally, socially, based on my upbringing, based on the effort that I have put in understanding my life. But I miss that cosmic mind. Even in daily activities, movement of my body is supported by the space, the gravitational force, and I miss it. So that individual ego is strengthened again and again. But without the presence of this entire existence, support, and care, I cannot exist. Even if the air says, okay, just for 5 minutes, I'm not going inside your lungs. We are done. We don't realize this. When we don't realize, then what happens? We build our ego, and to get rid of that ego, we have a karma yoga. Even after intellectual understanding, that that sense of identity will not drop. So now, but then question what happens by doing the karma yoga? You find the innermost self because now the mind is purified. The mind can go deeply inside. No, no, but okay, but what is this innermost self? Keep your mind clear. I have just, that is why I talked about intellect should not conform to what you have already studied. So that innermost self is a collective consciousness before the real self. We are tuned with the existence, and it is a step, it is a higher step towards self discovery and meditation. Oh, so are we learning from the main text? No, not yet. We are understanding the different terms. We have understand the karma yoga, we have understand the dispassion, we have understand the discernment, we have understand the relaxation is just moving the mind within. We have also understand that we are not worthy of suffering. So whatever the topics that we have covered, they are from the topical text. We are trying not only to understand the basic terms in the journey of the Eastern wisdom before taking up the one text of Upanishad uh, that aims at awakening and realization. And that is why I have been asking, are we understanding these terminology, the karma yoga? We are learning. Are we purifying the mind? How many times you were anxious, upset during the uh, since the last session? How many times you were anxious, upset? I was giving a lesson to that Ukrainian group. So one guy said only 3 times. I said, wonderful, only 3 times. Yeah, NSPC was also there in that. So I don't say anything, but so so you have already reached to a very higher state of meditation, so that you recognize the 3 times. And the most important thing, the moment you recognize that you are getting upset, it is gone. Do you realize that? Let me uh, go back and remind you. Can you become angry or agitated tomorrow at 10 a.m.? You see that? I see the smile on the face. Not possible. Can I be in peace tomorrow at 10 a.m.? Yes. See. So when you say 3 times, I can really understand where you are heading to. You see that? So that is why I should keep a track on my mind while living from a moment to moment. The moment I have an anxiety, a duality, a grief, but I told you there's British women. She said, I have to grieve for about a week because of the death of a Queen Elizabeth. Yes. So you have to grieve for a week. That is why I've been asking, are you living wisely? Same thing. How many times you are upset? You have a duality and a conflict in your daily life. Did you find any change in behavior and attitude? Did you find a change in your behavior and attitude? And you must have found it. So when you undergo that change in your behavior, then you start contemplating what brought that change in my behavior and attitude. So it is the mind inside. But what is happening to the mind inside? It is dropping that ego. It is dropping that doership. it is dropping that experiencership. And we are going in tune with the existence, and that is how we rise in consciousness. That is going to be the last session on karma yoga. Then we will move into the another topic. So there is another way to summarize. Mistakes will bound to happen. We need not to worry. We fall, we correct the error, and we rise. Why it will happen? Because we have trillions of impressions we have accumulated by doing the karma. Karma is life, life is karma, life is action, action is life. We cannot avoid any action. So before we understood what is karma yoga, we have started doing karma yoga. Before that, we have already accumulated trillions of impressions. They are living in the causal body. They are responsible for my merit and demerits in my life. They are already present in my subtle body. Subtle body means the mind and the intellect. We confirm certain actions based on our past experiences. So that is also causing problems. And then whatever the action at the physical level that we do. So this rise and fall will continue to happen. So is my daily life a life of karma yoga? Sometimes it takes a lot of time to get rid of our shyness, our timidness, our egoistic nature. Because the karma yoga, there is no doer. So you are always kind, you are always soft, you move with the humility. And that is not possible, especially with immediate relations. Even with a mom or a dad, it is not possible. But gradually, the more we contemplate and reflect, you will see this mind now is not going anywhere. It is calm and relaxed. It is full of the joy. So our awareness and attention remains on the karma yoga. And do you realize that your level of fatigue drops, has dropped, your level of anxiety or the frequency of anxiety and the duality has gone down? You are on the path of the karma. Now see, pay attention. Still the mind remains distracted inside what to do. Mind forgets. Yeah, I have purified the mind, huh? And I have found out that as the purification continues by doing the karma yoga, my personal, professional, social, and the family life has become better. It is becoming better. Then you are listening to me. Then you are doing the practice. Then you are in a session. If that is not happening, then you enjoy listening only. There is no change. Do you find those unfavorable conditions are going down? Sometimes we say it's a part of the destiny. When women wrote to me on the LinkedIn, Let us see if the destiny has given an opportunity to meet us. I said, my destiny does not say to meet you. Unnecessary, So we get rid of those doubts and those things. I enjoy those conversations. So, but remember that even after purification of the mind, pay attention to this, that distraction continues. So, what to do with the distraction and why the distraction is there? Because my intellect is heavily conditioned to receive, to understand a thing based on my past conditioning. Do you agree? Think of this. So, we have to remove this defect also. This is a defect in the intellect. It is one of the great obstacles which prevents our awakening and realization. We continue doing the karma yoga. We continue to purify the mind. The meditation becomes deeper and deeper. The unnecessary, unwanted demands of the mind drops. That is created by our ego inside. Because we have been deleting and shifting this doer in the experiencer. Another part that I want to cover, that when we are doing the karma yoga, we recognize the threefold result. Threefold result. Three fruits. Or you can say, doing the karma yoga, we have a result at three levels. Two levels, you can say they are visible. And the third level is invisible, but we can understand by its symptoms. Visible, the first is purely the physical action, the way we start performing our physical action. Absence of reaction, absence of anxiety, absence of overexertion, absence of unease with anyone, with everyone. Have you ever noticed that it is because of the ego we find unease with people? It is because of my ego. So, this is the highest tradition. It does not say, oh, he has a very negative vibe, I should keep a distance. No, it is a corresponding emotion is there in you. No? In my profession, we always talk about this. Oh, he has a negative vibe, so always keep a distance with that guy or a girl. So that is the second level. At the subtler level, I experience the pleasure or a pain, getting upset, getting anxious at the mental level, at the emotional level. It has to do with my impressions that I have accumulated for so many years. If your mind is pure, how dare anyone, even having a negative vibe, can affect you? Do you think that like this? No. No, no, I feel, a lot of people have negative. No, it's a corresponding emotion because of the past impression that is accumulated in our mind is reflecting about that person that he has a negative. Are you understanding that? What is the third level of the karma. So we talk in terms of merits and demerits. We talk in terms of favorable and unfavorable circumstances. All the religion talks in terms of sins and the virtues. So sins and virtues, you cannot see it, but you can feel the effect in your life. How? In terms of favorable and unfavorable circumstances in your life. Are you getting it? So when you find that there is a favorable circumstances, it means it is because of the past karma, my friend. Someone has abused you. First, go deeper inside. Did you create a condition so that he has slapped or abused you? Even in the family. Yesterday, I was talking to some women. She started crying uh, on an incident that happened about 4 weeks before. She told me that her honey slapped her. So I said, when it happened 4 weeks ago, then why are you crying? I didn't slap you. Favorable. I'm just explaining. Merit and demerit. So there is a sense of emotional bondage, and that is caused by a particular action. And then we go follow a different means of, ah, no, I am a sinner. Let me confess the sin. No. Follow the path of karma yoga, all the sins will go away. Very clear, 100% clarity in our journey of the self. Three types of the fruits that we get with every action. One is the physical. Out of the ego, I'm giving you a session. So after 1 hour, I'll be exhausted. See, the physical level. Am I 100% clear at the mental level? Is there a is there is no pleasure or pain? There is a sense of calmness prevails, subtler level. And beyond that, the merit and demerit we accumulate because of doing karma. And this karma yoga is going to balance that. Do you still remember yoga, mental state and attitude? When you add yoga is a suffix, yoga after the karma. Karma means action. Every action should be done with a proper, right attitude. We cannot practice meditation for 24 hours. But the moment you are doing the karma yoga, you are progressing in meditation. Can I tell you in a one sentence what happens? But you need to study, you need to contemplate and reflect. What happens? The finest result of karma yoga. The finest result of karma yoga, you refuse to be miserable. You means what? Your mind is so much pure that you refuse to be miserable. You refuse to grieve. You refuse to enter into stress. You refuse to suffer. You have yet to achieve the highest state of meditation. Are you understanding? You refuse to be miserable. That is the finest result of the karma. You refuse to grieve. You refuse to stress. When? All the time. Where? In all locations. With whom? In all relations. You refuse to be miserable. Finished. That's a validation you have achieved the higher state of karma yoga. Think, contemplate, and reflect. Do I refuse to be miserable? Do I refuse to grieve? Do I refuse to have a stress in my life? Stress is there, it will come, it will make you fall. But still, internally, you realize that no, 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 it does not belong to me. It is separate. So you don't accumulate them in your mind. It will not create demerits in your life. Are you getting it? Little deeper, but not so deep. So once we achieve that level of success in the karma yoga, then what is left is the emotional dependence. Still, that emotional baggage is there. We have started performing the action. Sometimes you see that I'm doing a good karma yoga. I have responded very well to my honey, but my honey or any relation caused me the emotional pain. So I have to work on that emotional pain. Do you see that this journey of meditation is all about conscious evolution and transformation in our life? And you set an example. You need not to pose, you need not to talk, but the way you talk and you express your thought, the way you build up the relationship, you become an example. You don't want to influence others, but they are influenced. Why? Because we are representing the truth. We are representing the reason. Close your eyes. We will pick up another topic, that is Bhakti Yoga, the emotional freedom. Eyes are closed and being calm. Here, we will change the practice also from the next session because the topic is different, is emotional. Freedom. So eyes are closed, body is comfortable, and you're just in line. Do you remember? Symbolic expression, the eyes are closed means that all the sense organs, you are looking inside, you don't find any object, no sense organ finds their respective object, hence the mind is 50% calm. And the rest 50%? Move the mind on the neck joint, be there, feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now I think you all can go deeper. Sensation at the physical level. You see the result of the karma yoga. Comfort at the mental level. Steadiness at the existential level. Nothing is steady in the world except the existence. So you see the intellect that has a conformity on the past impression is broken. How? By the knowledge and the practice. So the mind goes to the shoulder joints, be there, feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Are you trying to force your body to be steady? Then it is the steadiness of the body. Or you are aware of the steadiness in the body. It is existential. See the difference. And the difference is understood by the knowledge. You're 100% comfortable. Why? Because the steadiness is supporting it. You're not fighting in the mind. Fighting means what? Go back to the karma yoga. I told you the three kind of fruits: physical level, mental level, and deeper level of merit and demerit. So nothing is blind. Oh, you are a sin, you go and confess your sin. No, everything is within us. The body is total body awareness, sensation, comfort, and state. Even if you have some problem with the body, no worries. You follow this sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And now being carefree. I've already we discussed in I believe hundreds of different ways of being carefree, free from all that cares. Who cares? The mind. Why it cares? How it cares? I'm answering it. How it cares through the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts entering into the mind. Now understand why a particular thought enters into my mind. Because I have done the karma in the past, which has created lot of impressions of pain, pleasure, sorrow, happiness, duality. They attract, those impression attracts the so-called unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. I believe you have understood that. It's very clear. Oh, that is the reason. So why should not, how I should not strengthen those corresponding emotions in the thoughts? Don't pay attention. Be carefree. Thought of anger, anxiety, duality, a conflict comes. Just watch, be an observer, remain carefree. Do not add fuel into the fire. So at a very subtle level, I'm doing the karma yoga. Why? Purifying the mind. Oh, so is being carefree is also yes. So we are higher seekers, so we understand those subtle moments in our life. Yes, being carefree. So, and then what we are saying? We are doing another karma by chanting the mantra. So we are replacing those thoughts. See that? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. You know the meaning? I believe. Let there be a well-being. The word meaning and the knowledge is the well-being is a common factor. You are also seeking well-being. I'm also seeking well-being, including all the living species. What happens to the mind? That I should approach to you with a responsibility. That knowledge is installed in the mind to erase those impressions which causes the impurity. Just see that. No need to believe me. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham. So, the same way you are reflecting on it, my friends, understand why you are reflecting on it. You want to break the mind that lives, that thinks in conformity based on my past impression. I believe you are clear about it. And you will experience the sense of freedom. Why? Peace on one hand, breaking that conformity from the intellect, from the mind. It is that conformity which asks, which says that, oh, look at this guy who has a negative Y, who has a positive I. Every human being comes from the existence, every living being. How dare my mind says that tradition is the highest tradition. Lower tradition, yes, talks about negative and the positive vibes. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. When everyone is complete in oneself and everyone exists because of their existence, no negative and the positive. The lower tradition are there. What will happen with the lower tradition? What you have achieved until today will be achieved in 50 years. Puranam bhavatu, sense of completeness. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Mangalam, auspiciousness. When? All the time. Where? In all the location. With whom? With everyone. What do you mean? Because mind is purified. Purified mind will align with the existence, or you can say with aligned with the real self in you. That is a step forward in our journey of awakening and realization. We'll continue with the same, looking deep inside the heart, in the cave of your heart, dropping Om Shanti. The way I'm dropping, so you are dropping mentally. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Now we are moving from the subtler to the physical level. So subtler, Om Shanti. Go to the breath, start breathing, quick, short breathing from both the nostrils into the rib cage. Then go out, physical level, steadiness is there. In the state of steadiness of the body, you are breathing, quick and short breathing, with dropping of Om Shanti gently. Continue. Body remains steady, breath is rhythmic, Om Shanti continues. I'm using the Tantra as steps. Our goal is to excel, to evolve faster. So that's why I mix up, especially in the practice and also in the principles. Just continue. Om Shanti continues. Breathing continues. The steadiness in the body continues. Continue. Quick, short breathing. Om Shanti and the steadiness in the body. You will understand at a subtler level, at a much deeper level, how this mind reacts to the step. Sometime you may stop the breath even for a fraction of a second. Past impression. I don't feel like doing it. Unfavorable condition. It has nothing to do with negative or positive vibe. Just continue. Quick, short breathing. Om Shanti. When stop this, just look at the body from the crown of the head to the toes, as if your mind is touching the skin of your physical body. As it touches, you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Again, you see the stillness has to do with existential love, relaxation of the mental, and sensation of the physical. Now start breathing deep, silent, and slow. As you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm in the space, now singing. Om Shanti with a meaning. Om is the real self, pure consciousness, and Shanti oozes out of the atom. As you exhale, the mind moves from The fingertips to the shoulder. Om Shanti. Kind of self absorption takes place. Are we not bypassing all the three levels of the result of the karma? So that bypassing awakens you to the higher state. Yeah, inside the left arm, you find as if the mind is not posing any challenges. You may have a feeling that you can do the nyasa even for an hour. What it means, those merits and demerits at that level. And when the mind directly interferes or supports, that's purely a mental level. And sometimes it happens at the physical level. So we can identify where the consciousness is located. That I consciousness located in the body. You have a lot of visiting deeper the subtler level, pain, pleasure, discomfort, much deeper. So those merits and demerits, those merits and demerits, when not understood in us, manifest as negative and the positive vibes. Now inside the right leg from the right side of the waist to the toes. Om Shanti is very soft and gentle. Mind is moving in the space. Body remains steady. And there is a perfect action. Karma Yoga. Then what happens? You are purifying the mind. And what it happens? It manages many illnesses. I don't want to say, but I'm saying it. You want to know the merits and demerits? Your mind has a peculiar sensation and a vibe. Oh, how long I have to do demerit? No, I will continue to do as long as it demands merit. Now, inside the left leg, we fall into unconscious sleep demerit. We rise into higher awareness, deeper inside a kind of self absorption merit. Just pick up those moments. And now inside the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone, and from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Shanti happening with total awareness. Mind remains absorbed deeper within. Body remain motionless. That is what we want. And we are, the past impressions are supporting us. I'm with you. And now leave that step, moving the mind in the cave of your heart, singing Om. And when the mind seemingly stops, Shanti, and you enter into a deeper infinite void or emptiness, stay there. The moment any disturbances, return again. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. We'll share our experiences. How openly, how are you, David and Jerry?
Very, very short. The I realized the power of when you say, give yourself permission to have thoughts, actually gave me the freedom to not have thoughts, if that makes sense.
There you go.
So
Yes.
very freeing from that perspective.
Beautiful. Yeah. Freedom, the many, many factors. When we are covering the karma yoga at the physical level, at the subtle level, those impressions are there and they bear the fruits of each and every action, each and every karma. And that helps us understanding it, helping us to rise in awareness. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. I think just during the rapid breath and dropping the Om Shanti, I was focused. The mind was really focused on not all the stuff that was going on, but the calmness underneath. And,
Calmness.
and then just relating that to what goes on every day is all the stuff that goes on, but there's always that calmness.
Wonderful. You are setting an example. And you will see the outer life, relationship, everything changes. It changes in quality. So, how are you, Barbara? I think you lost your connection for a
I,
couple of minutes.
I did. And as a result, I didn't know I lost it, but as a result, I was doing the quick and fast breathing until finally I thought, it's a very long time. And I saw that I lost the connection. It was very strange, but I'm doing okay. And I have no problem with the quick and fast breathing. In fact, I enjoy it. But I have difficulty dropping the Om Shanti when I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the mind is not able to separate with the breath, but it will happen gradually.
Mm-hmm.
Today I did it for 30 minutes of quick and short breathing early in the morning, and I was enjoying. So when you said that you are enjoying, definitely it helps us. But don't start doing 30 minutes now. So how are you, Brandy?
Good morning. Thank you. I'm fine. My meditation was really deep and focused today. It was nice to be in there.
Nice, beautiful. That's really good. Live into that state of meditation all the time. How are you, Rakesh?
Namaste, sir. Thank you. Sir, after many days, today it was again the state of silence.
State of,
Beautiful.
yeah, yeah. Compare this state of the silence when we do not have those merits and demerits because of the karma. We don't have the opposite feeling in the mind because of the karma. We don't have any movement in the body. It happens because of the karma. So, what is the result? Silence. Be very clear. These our masters are so clear about these things. You don't start thinking, at least when I start thinking, oh, I will not talk to Anastasia, she has a negative vibration. So my mind is crazy. Anesthesia has nothing to do with it. We have to be 100% clear about it. It's better to take care of the mind rather than blaming anyone. Then why she exists? How are you, Terry? Terry was also steady, yes.
Yes, I was having no trouble doing the quick and fast breathing
Beautiful.
and the slow also. I was experiencing again the distractions at the same time as I was experiencing the darkness and the space, and I was enjoying being away from the world.
Beautiful.
Um, I think I had a feeling of I was a couple of times felt like I was going toward a center point, going forward.
Yeah.
And then, but then I would keep getting drawn back out by distractions, and then just all kept going around and around.
I'm reminding you, Terry, that sometimes you say, because of my problem, I'm not able to do the quick and fast breathing. I'm not able to do the deep, silent, slow breathing. And still the problem still exists, and you are able to do both successfully. It means it is all about the mind. It is all about your level of awareness. So it means you can achieve that state anytime, in spite of having these challenges. So you have to do the practice maybe 5 or 6 times every day. Inspiring, motivating. How are you, Anastasia?
Thank you. I'm very good. It was a deep meditation, and I felt a deeper sensation in my body as usual. And I've realized that it's not my body who feels the space, but it's my mind actually, and how it influences on my perception of my space. It's like sometimes you look at yourself in the mirror and you think that you are the most beautiful person in the world, and sometimes you look at yourself and you think that you are the ugliest person in the world. It's just because of your mind.
Because of your mind. Remember this. My perception changes because of the impressions present in the mind. One day you stand before the mirror and the impression says you are most beautiful. Yes. Second day, mind says you are most beautiful, and some demerit enters into your mind. No. That's why I'm not in love. Unnecessary. These are the impurities of the mind we must get rid of before we reach to a higher state. How are you, Sameer?
Sir, after the recitation of mantras, no, it was like surrendering, all the thoughts were gone. Means it's the mind expanded, means that sarve bhavantu sukhina, means everyone, so mind start expanding and all the thoughts starts, means dropping, and then I was deep into meditation.
Yes. This is a step coming from the tantra. I use it. Even the chanting, the way we are doing the mental chanting. And the tantra means the expansion of mind and liberation of energy. One literal meaning. Any step that we do. So that is why you feel that expansion of the mind. It is wonderful. We are left with the two. Vaibhav, how are you?
Sir, I'm good. It was peaceful, very deep, very calm.
Very deep, peaceful, beautiful. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर एक्चुअली बीच में कनेक्शन खराब हो गया था, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी, तो थोड़ा सा डिस्टर्ब हुआ, फिर शांत होम अपने आप चलता रहा, तो बाद में आपकी आवाज आनी शुरू हो गई.
Yeah, connection was disturbed, he's saying. Yeah, we should be connected at the deeper level. Forget about internet connection. So that is all for today. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adios.